How I occupied myself on a 21-hour layover in Istanbul airport. 21 hours in an airport? Are you kidding me? I could never do it, was the response I heard the most when recounting my tale. You'll be surprised at what you're capable of when you have no other choice, is my usual reply. And that's the truth. I had no choice. It was July 2021, and I was traveling from Cape Town, South Africa, to Cancún, Mexico, after 7 months of visiting my parents. I was flying Turkish Airlines, as it was the cheapest option that didn't reroute me through the US. And 21 hours was the closest connection that the airline had between the two destinations. If this had happened any other time, other than in a global pandemic, it wouldn't have been a problem at all. I have good friends in Istanbul, and finding a place to crash for a few hours would have been pretty easy. Unfortunately, we were in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and entering countries was very tricky. To add insult to injury, I was flying from South Africa, which had become the global bad boy for the virus, and even Turkey, which had had relatively relaxed restrictions to this point, was not allowing people flying from South Africa to enter the country without 2 weeks in a government-run quarantine facility. What did this mean for me? It meant that I needed to figure out what to do with 21 hours. Thankfully, I flew into one of the best airports in the world for this type of marathon stint. After my 10-hour overnight flight, I landed in Istanbul and made my way through the international transfer checkpoint. I was amazed by the number of people in the terminal after the relative tumbleweeds rolling through Cape Town International Airport the night before. Travelers were checking boards, shopping, and rolling carry-ons across the shiny tiled floors as they looked for places to eat, drink, or sit. There was a gentle hum that I had sorely missed during my pandemic travels. Masks were still mandatory, and even though I changed mine every 12 hours, I ended up having one on for the 60 hours that it took to travel from South Africa to Mexico, door to door. Anyone who knows me even moderately well will not be surprised by my next statement. It was 6 a.m., and the first thing I did was find the Starbucks and sit down for a tall almond milk latte. I logged into the Wi-Fi I had purchased for 24 hours, a sweet deal at only $3, and happily sipped my latte while checking on what the world had been up to during my time above the clouds. I had done some due diligence before arriving at Istanbul airport, and one of my Turkish friends had called the airport to clarify a few things that weren't too clear on the website. I knew there was a very expensive hotel available within the transit terminal should I wish to get some sleep and have a shower. I also knew that there were sleep pods available for 6 to 9 euros an hour, depending on the time of day, so there was a reprieve from fatigue should I need it. By the time I really needed it, though, it was almost time to board, and I was proud of my record stretch of staying awake. In preparation for the layover, I had also loaded my laptop and phone with a TV series, some sitcoms, and a bunch of YouTube videos queued for my viewing pleasure. So what did I do? I wandered from one side of the airport to the other to stretch my legs, had something to eat, lay down on the floor or in a lounger and watched videos, or spent time online until my laptop battery was almost dead, Then I got up and walked to the other end of the airport to plug it in to recharge. There were power outlets in numerous places, but this forced me to get up and move between bouts of staring at a screen. Rinse and repeat. I continued this pattern for the majority of my time in the airport. If I was going to get stuck anywhere for 21 hours, Istanbul Airport was a great place to be. The variety in restaurants and bars is great. There are plenty of spots to relax, including a nook with lounge chairs surrounded by plants in a very quiet pocket of the airport. There are also sleep pods where your luggage can be safely tucked underneath the mattress as you sleep, plus a USB charging port and wake-up service. The airport offers free internet for the first hour, after which you need to buy more by putting your passport number into the Wi-Fi kiosks. Even in my traveling on a dime mentality, $3 is pretty cheap for a whole day. There are escalators and elevators to move between floors, departure boards everywhere to check on your flight status, and lots of room to walk. For those who wish to do some shopping, you have multiple options, albeit at airport prices. There are luggage lockers, lounges for those with a few extra dollars to spare, TV watching zones, smoking areas, and a youth lounge. Although I didn't notice the following services while I was there, the Istanbul Airport website also lists the following services: a spa, shower facilities, a hairdresser, shoe shine, and a dry cleaner, plus a new non-smoking fresh air terrace. Basically everything but a partridge in a pear tree. All in all, Istanbul Airport is a great place to spend 21 hours, but only if you have to.